this journey of yours, okay? This journey that you're going through, you're going to have peaks of mountains that you're going to reach the top of, and you're going to feel like you've conquered everything. And then you're going to keep going forward. Well, if you're at the top of the mountain, what's going to happen? You're going to have to go down. Keep going forward. Well, it means you're going down. But you're going to view that going down period as the end of your career. And you start pushing too hard on your trades and forcing things that aren't in the chart. On Swiss franc, I was looking at a weekly chart, and I was expecting this to be some kind of like a bull flag. And this is how the fake bull flags became a thing. I was trying to go long in Swiss franc. Actually told some of my friends, look, I'm going long in Swiss franc. This is what's going to do. I think it's going to go up this much. And what I did not understand is that it was simply going up into a small inefficiency that I understand and teach you now. And it was going to go lower and a lot lower. And that was one trade that I wrestled. I was convinced that it was going to move for me, and I kept opening up my stop, kept opening up my stop, kept opening up my friends, they got stopped out. I was holding on to it because why did Michael, rookie sensation ICT, why did he think that it was a smart move to keep opening the stop? That means I was widening. Okay, wherever I had my initial stop loss, protect the initial entry long, I was like, okay, I know I'm right, but I'm probably wrong where I'm placing my stop. So I have to just sit through a little bit more. Open it up more and more, a little bit more, open it more. And I was like, okay, now this thing's looking like it really wants to go down to go right to my stop. I'm going to just take the stop off. Well, that's when it fucking tanked. Okay. And I experienced $6,000 per contract. That's not fun. That's not fun. Okay. Especially when you're not in front of the chart seeing it. It's just changing numbers. Okay. It's changing numbers on the screen. So I was like, okay, this is bullshit. This is painful. Well, that lesson, that pain, that uncomfortable state would have taken many of you out of this and say, I'm never doing it again. Was I embarrassed because my friends saw me lose big? Absolutely. I was fucking totally demoralized. But I turned it around. I said, okay, that's never going to happen again. I knew I was wrong, but I arm wrestled it. I knew I was fucking wrong. I was under the pressure of the market's thumb, and it was giving me all the time in the world to save my own neck, and I wouldn't listen. I came in with my preconceived notions that this is what the market's going to do. I married the vein. I sold my soul to that trade. I was not going to let go of it. And it punished me. It tore my ass up. And that's that gapping feature that I tell you about that I was afraid of. That's where I learned that lesson from, because the Swiss franc just kept going lower. And then in the next session, I'm holding over. It just gaps further against me. I'm like, what the fuck? Clearly, it's got to be done now. Nope. 4 days later, I'm still in there. No stop. No stop. And account gone. So back to saving money, working on the weekend, delivering pizza, getting some scratch capital raised up again, and I had to go back in and do it all over again. And the only lesson I learned from that at the time was don't hold overnight on futures and currencies because the gaps are too much. That was the only lesson at the time that I learned. But now, knowing back what I know now, there's so many things that I understand about price action that I would never have gone long now. As the trader I am right now, and it's not because I'm hindsight 2020 and everybody could be saying the same thing. I know things that I was falling victim to, and I was not paying attention to it because I was unaware. I was unaware. My understanding of commitment traders was not what it is today. Just simply because the commitment traders were showing long positions by the commercials. That was weeks before. Weeks before. They had switched to being bearish, net short position. That means if you're looking at commercial traders on a net trader position chart, they had more contracts net short than they were net long. So that means that they were shorting where I was buying. And I was that retail Rick that got his ass handed to him. And I learned years later to look back at that and say, oh, shit. This is one of those millionaire mega trades. And I didn't even see it or recognize it. So understand, this is the guy that you're learning from. Okay. This is the guy that has more understanding today that in the beginning, at that time, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was learning all this stuff right then and there. I was learning it. You're having that same right now, that experience right now, but I'm giving you insight that isn't taught anywhere else until they learned it from me. But you can't get it watered down. You have to understand there's a lot more detail to all the things I'm teaching. And just because you're introduced to the idea, don't fall victim to thinking you're ready and go out there and risk money, because you're going to hurt yourself. And that small little hurt, that small little loss incurred, and all losses suck. They do. They absolutely suck. But in the beginning, every loss isn't a paper cut. It's like having your arm cut off. You're losing an appendage. You make it like that. You increase it to that level of influence, impact, when it's nowhere near the degree that you really think it is when you have experience. Look back and oh shit, that was nothing. You're going to have a whole lot of paper cuts. Sometimes a little bit of gash here, gash there, put a stitch in it, staple it, shut the fuck up and keep going. Do the same thing you've been doing, because you just did one small mistake. It doesn't change the model. It doesn't make the model inefficient. It doesn't make it ineffective. It just means that you messed up as the operator. Own it, move on. Don't dwell on it, move on. But if you have flawed logic right from Jump Street, you're going to lose your ass. And you're going to be miserable at the end of it, because you're going to remember all the times that you subconsciously knew that you should not have been doing what you're doing, but you didn't listen. You couldn't bring the amount of strength and discipline that's required to simply say, I'm getting out of this. This is wrong. I'll worry about making the money back at a later time. But right now, I got to stop the bleeding, because that's the first rule you got to do. Learn how to stop yourself from losing your ass. You're going to lose money, folks. That's a guarantee. You're going to lose money. Every trader loses. They do. I have learned where I lose the most, and I try not to trade in those instances. So there's rules to this. Okay, there's levels that are understanding, and engagement has to be defined, and you have to be disciplined. Like, you have to know what you're looking for, and it has to be in writing. Like before I do a trade, I have an expectation of where I want to see it go to. It's written down. Same thing I'm having right now. I have a small little notepad, and these are levels I'm looking for. It won't mean anything to you. I know some of you are like, can you show me it? When you do that, it's literally just me writing down a price. That's it. In my mind, I know why I wrote it. If someone picked it up on the street and said, oh, this is ICT's secret instructions. It's not. It's just, these are areas I believe that the market's going to draw to. In my head, I have the narrative in mind as to why it would do that. I don't have time, dude. I'm trading on a 1 minute chart, sometimes less than that. How long does it take you to write down? I believe that 4111 and a half is sell side liquidity, and fuck that. If the market's already gone, it's left. It's already left the station. Elvis has left the fucking building. It's gone. You can't do that kind of stuff. If you're trade trading, you can't journal as you go. You journal after the fact. But when you're studying and tape reading, you just mark down what you think is likely to draw to, and you do that on your chart. Like, you do that on your chart, so that way it's there. And then you study what you have seen. Did it really do that? How did it behave when it did it? How long did it take to do it? Did it go there and just fall short of it in reverse? All these things are worthwhile studies. When you look at these other folks out there, they're going to try to distract you from learning this, because this is going to help you, and it's going to minimize what they're doing. Their strengths are going to be reduced by your ability to do this without any indicator, no crutch. Not one fucking thing needs to be applied to your chart except for your own notes and annotations. And that flies in the face of the majority of everybody on YouTube. More people's going to join the hate wagon, okay? They're going to, because they think that's going to be a way for them to overcome this monster, this Frankenstein Ice-T is. I'm just an average dude, man. That's it. I'm trying to help all of you. I'm not victimizing any of you. I'm not going after your YouTube channel. I'm trying to talk shit about anybody. And when you do that kind of stuff, it makes you the wrong kind of influence. Like our community here, everybody that sells a service, they'll say our community sucks. Well, they say that because they call bullshit when they see it from their YouTube channel. When they say that price is being bought up and buying pressure sends price higher, when you know differently now. But they don't like that because it goes against their narrative. Their selling points are those things, those features that appear in books. So it goes without saying, of course they're going to say our community's toxic because we're calling them bullshit. They're not doing the right things with the markets. Even if they're making money, they're attributing their happenstance being right. And I've had lots of that in the beginning. And these folks are 20 years old. They're fresh out of high school, most of them. And they're teaching. What the fuck are you teaching? What not to do. That's what they're teaching. Don't do those things. This journey of yours, okay? This journey that you're going through, you're going to have peaks of mountains that you're going to reach the top of, and you're going to feel like you've conquered everything. And then you're going to keep going forward. Well, if you're at the top of the mountain, what's going to happen? You're going to have to go down. Keep going forward. Well, that means you're going down. But you're going to view that going down period as the end of your career. And you start pushing too hard on your trades and forcing things that aren't in the chart. So what I did was I used the information that I gleaned from pain, blown accounts, real psychological warfare that I put myself through. No troll can say anything to me that would be more painful than I've already done to myself in my career as a 20-year-old. Nobody could do anything to me. Nobody can do anything, say anything about me to make me fucking lose sleep. I don't give a shit, okay? But you as a new student, whether you're learning from me or anybody else, you're highly influenced. It's so easy to manipulate, and you're malleable. Like you can be manipulated to the point where bad news about anything that you're trying to do will convince you quickly, and you'll use that as a perfect excuse to say, okay, it's too much effort. Yeah, it's definitely a fraud. It's definitely a scam. It's this stuff doesn't work. It doesn't work. When it does, you just simply haven't put the time in doing the right things. Okay, there's people out there that spent a lot of time doing stupid shit, watching videos only. You got to be in this, looking at the price action, studying it, going through the process of measuring how much drawdown the trades occur. How often does these fair value gaps form? I've literally removed all of the fucking guesswork and reduced it down to a 60-minute time window. Okay? 60-minute time window, gave it a cool ass name, the silver bullet, because that's what you're looking for, a fucking silver bullet that never misses. Okay? If you understand narrative, and you know where the next draw on liquidity is, you have a 90% likelihood of making fucking money if you know how to trade and use that model.